Great job.
Professor Jose is a Renzo Gracie Blackbelt and runs the kids program at the main Renzo Gracie school in New York City. Arturo would make frequent business trips to New York, and that's how they connected with Jose.
So Zed, you've been to Costa Rica a couple times now. What do you think about Jiu-Jitsu in this country and the work that the Wesson family has made at their academy?
When I came here for the first time last year, so didn't have much students at the academy. But the way Arturo and Paulo, they teach with a lot of heart, they care about the students, they make sure they wanna, the environment be positive, respectful, family, bring a lot of kids. So I knew already it was a great potential, just need time to grow. And now I came this year, I just came, and I was in shock, like, not surprised, but so many students, great level, everybody improving so much, pushing each other. So I'm very proud of them, very happy. And every time that I come here, I don't only teach, but I learn, you know, and I was very lucky, happy to have Philipe, AJ, you, sharing a great time.
So you came from Renzo Gracie's academy in New York City. Tell us a little bit about what's going on at his place now.
First of all, New York, it's a place that we love and hate. And when you leave, we miss it. I'm very grateful, very blessed to have Renzo as a head instructor, to be around of him. Such positive person, great friend, he cares about others. He teach so amazing that for me, I'm so happy, so proud to go to New York and make this happen. Also to have a great instructors, co-workers as John Danaher, Igor Grace, Gregor Grace, Ross Grace, Neyman Grace, Rafael Costa, Luciano Cristóvão, Magno Gama, Rafael Sapo. So I cannot forget all of them. Also, the opportunity, so much top fighters going there, visit us, to help us and feedback, we help them. So everybody, like a family, push each other in the best way.
Zay, I know you like attacks from the back. Can you show me a couple of your favorite ones?
Yeah, of course. First, let's see.
Two.
Nice. Let me give some love. Okay, first thing, guys. Okay, when you take somebody's back, okay, the first thing, make sure, don't make an innocent mistake crossing your legs. So this is very important. If you have double joints, that's different thing. I don't have it. So make sure I take care of it. Okay? So when I take some, I might make sure my partner have to forget the hooks, defend the neck. Okay? So I'm attacking the back. So what I'm gonna do? So he's gonna try to, first of all, he's gonna try to put his back right away to the ground, right? So soon he's over here and he choose one side, okay, to put his back. So he's gonna put your back on the ground. So I'm gonna stop. Detail my foot right on top of his hip, pushing him that way. Jake, try to put your back. Okay, so this is gonna stop. This is very important, okay? So also, if he already, okay, right over there, my elbow, I open my elbow and I move my hips to the same side. So this is I keep my partner, make sure right in the middle, okay? So again, if he go this way, I put my hook and I push. I move my hip and I sit up. When I sit up, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work my lapel. Sometimes a lot of people don't expect the lapel. Okay, so you're always waiting for my grip, you know, but he's defending. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna control my lapel, high, I open, and one shot, I comes over here. Okay, now I'm gonna give the lapel to the other hand. Okay, and now one shot, my right hand go over, I switch, I open my leg, and here I have the choke. Also, I have the armbar. Again. So, I'm right here, he's gonna bridge, I defend, detail my foot on his hip, and I push. If he goes to the other side, same thing, I push. Okay, I move, I get on top. He defends himself. I grab my lapel without he knows. I put my, he didn't see, I open, he didn't see my lapel, I hide. Switch, and now one shot. You see my legs over here? Watch. I push, and I give. Detail, palm down. I open my, and also, very important, when I do this transition, lock my hook. I don't keep my foot between his legs. Okay, now I bring my leg over, choke, and armbar. Now one shot, fast. Again, I stop, sit up, take my time. I hide my head over here. Okay, now I go. 1, 2, leg over, choke, and here, the armbar.
Very nice, sneaky submission. Thank you.
Welcome.
You have a good reputation of being a great instructor. Did you learn that from Renzo or maybe from some of your earlier instructors in Brazil?
I don't like to talk about myself, being a great instructor. I do my best. I do because I love it. But I had the opportunity to learn with Crawling Grace, Hillion Grace. They showed me, they teach me the fundamental of Jiu-Jitsu. And the opportunity to have Renzo as my head professor to teach me the advanced level of Jiu-Jitsu. When I came here, I realized, oh, I don't know anything, so much to learn, and I still having so much to learn. But have the fundamental of Crawling Grace, Hillion Grace, and Renzo, I'm so happy, proud, and so grateful for them and their family.
Speaking of the Gracies, you learned a lot from Renzo Gracie, I learned a lot from Carlos Gracie Jr. We both learned a lot from the Gracie family. But Jiu-Jitsu has grown a lot, it's spread very wide all around the world. And some people say, you don't need to learn from the Gracies anymore. There's so many other people that are so talented that you can learn from. What do you think about that?
I think it's ungrateful, because if I have a job, I have to say thank you, the Gracies. They developed the Jiu-Jitsu. And we have to be humble and bow for the Gracies. It's hard to make everybody to love, to care, to respect. But the most important thing is to do our best and make people happy and grateful and humble. So this is we have to bow and say thank you, Gracies, for the opportunity you gave us. Because so many people today help themselves and the family.
You mentioned that it's your job to help a lot of people. Do you think Jiu-Jitsu is for everybody? A lot of people talk about Jiu-Jitsu being for everybody, but is it really? Or is it just for fighters? Or is it for everybody?
First of all, you have to try. If you try, if you don't like it, you have to respect. But Jiu-Jitsu is for everybody. Jiu-Jitsu gives you a great lifestyle, Not only about fight, but the way you live life, to eat good, to care about everything. Jiu-Jitsu for kids, it's very important because build up them the self-esteem, the motor skills, the self-confidence, to socialize with other kids, respecting others, also help the parents to show how to appreciate them and the opportunity to learn such a great martial art.
Inspired by John Danaher to continuously study, the Wessons chose Philipe Della as their main professor. With Philipe's friendly, outgoing personality and complete understanding of BJJ, it was instantly a perfect fit. Philipe, what do you think about the growth of Jiu-Jitsu in Costa Rica?
I've been here like 4 times, you know, and doing seminars, teaching classes. And I really, it's been like only a year and a half, but I can see already the progress, the students, and the sport's gonna grow here, I think, a lot. So, you know, the people in Costa Rica, I felt, the first time I came here, I felt they're very similar than Brazilian people, you know. So I felt like, man, this looks like Brazil, and the people are really warm, and they really like Jiu-Jitsu. There's not too many academies, but I think a couple years from now, they're gonna have, you know, the sport's gonna be really big right here.
You've seen a lot of different Jiu-Jitsu academies. How do you think the Wesson family is doing running their academy?
They're doing great, you know. So they're really smart at the point that they go through black belts to collect information, to learn, and they try to pass that to the students in the best way possible, you know. Every month, like, they have black belts coming to teach classes, teach seminars, and they also teach, like, they give the experience on the schools and how to run the school, how to do this, how to do that. So they give them good advices, and looks like the school is running really well, you know. So really excited for them. So they are really nice people.
You were born in Brazil, now you're living in California. Both of those countries have amazing jiu-jitsu. Do you think Central America can have a high level of jiu-jitsu as well?
I think anywhere can have a high level jiu-jitsu, you know, if they do the right thing, if they train the right way, if they have the right instruction. I think, you know, there's no limitation. So anywhere takes time, because, you know, you don't become a high level jiu-jitsu black belt from one day to the other. You know, takes dedication, you know, takes time. But I believe anywhere in the world that they have jiu-jitsu, if they have the right training, it can be, you know, anybody can be a high level jiu-jitsu.
Your nickname, what does it mean and how did you get it?
My nickname is Furão, so it means like ferret, and it's a funny story, you know, nicknames you get from nowhere. And in my case, we're like, I was like at the young age, 12, 13 years old, on a trip, a jiu-jitsu trip, to go to the tournament with my professor Caveirinha and my teammates. And we walked by a store that have animal, they sell animals in the shopping center, and they had a ferret over there, you know. And I was the smallest one in the group, and they kind of start making fun of me. Man, you look like this animal. Look, you look like this animal. And they start calling me Furão from that day on. So, you know.
How would most people describe your jiu-jitsu?
Man, I don't know how they describe my jiu-jitsu. You know, I am a type of guy that I like to learn all type of, you know, games. I like to learn. I learn every day, and. People say that I'm like a half guard player, you know. Every time they ask me to do videos, or instructional videos or something like that, they ask me to show like half guard. So I guess, you know, they highlighted my game as a bottom half guard. But while I'm at the school, when I'm teaching, I try to do everything, you know. So I do all type of guards, all type of games. When you compete at the highest level, the thing is, you're always gonna try to do your comfortable game. You're gonna stay in a comfort zone, you know. So you go to the school, you train with your students, you train with your teammates. You always try to experience new things, you know. But when you go to the tournament, you have to be like, have that game that you trust, you know, so you can execute with confidence, and the confidence is huge on the tournament, you know.
Guards come in and out of style. And I wouldn't say half guard is as popular maybe now as it was in the past. What do you think about half guard as a competition guard?
I think, it's a great guard. And in Jiu-Jitsu, it's a great guard because you can play with the gi, without the gi. Another day I was reading an article that says like in MMA, the most effective sweeps, the most of sweeps on MMA, which the mix of martial arts when they test each other, is from the half guard, And there's so many variations. Every day something new coming up, And like ways to get there, different ways to get there, different ways to sweep, to submit. And I try to not limit my game on that, but I always try to open that as much as I can to have more variations of techniques and stuff,
Woo! In Costa Rica, the rainforest, we're doing 8 platforms. I think it's going to be 1,000 feet up in the air. It's nothing like skydiving, but it's going to be an adrenaline rush for sure.
Some more traditionally minded jiu-jitsu guys say that half guard is a dangerous guard. They say it's not safe because your guard is halfway to getting past. Do you agree with that?
I don't agree. I think half guard is can be a very offensive guard, and there's a spots that puts you in a defensive game. So there's the offensive part of the half guard and the defensive part, and like any other position, there's the bad spots and good spots. So if you know how to play well, if you know how to keep your opponent on the spot that you want, the range that you want, that's what really differentiate those two things,
You mentioned that you like half guard because it works gi and no gi. Do you like having a game that for the most part works both gi and no gi?
I like to train both, and I like to have like you mentioned, to have the game that works in both, so that when you change to the no-gi training, you don't have to change too much. You just have to adapt the grips and a few things. But for example, a guy that plays, let's say a guy that only likes to spider guard, and is really needs the sleeve for the control of the guard. When they go to the no-gi, they have to adapt it for another type of game, so it's kind of a big change, So if you play a game, for example, like a half guard, that's not that much change, so I think it's a little easier adaptation,
There's a lot of different kinds of half guard. There's traditional half guard, knee shield half guard, inverted half guard. What type of half guard do you like?
I like all this type of half guard, but I like a lot the reverse half guard, which is a kind of different way to play. You have the opposite leg instead of the regular leg of the deep half guard and the Z guard. So you pass the leg to the other side. I don't see too many people playing that game. I see a lot of people in that scenario, but they don't mean to be. They don't want to be there, and the people end up getting there, and they have to survive. They have to do something. In my case, I like to sometimes bring them there straight and start working from there, which I think it's really nice. And most of the people think it's a bad spot, So I got there so many times that I studied things to do from there, and for me now it's a good spot being there,
How important is it to work on being in bad positions and making bad positions good positions?
I think this is really important, especially when you train. You don't have too many people at your level to train. It's important to have your students, starting on a bad spot already, so you can train. If you're a black belt, for example, and you're teaching in a school that you don't have another black belt to help you train, so probably they'll never pass your guard, they'll never put you in a bad spot. And if you just train like that, and the day that someone puts you in a bad spot, you're not gonna have enough confidence to know how to get out. So it's important to get the lower belts on you in the bad spots and tell them, okay, try to attack, try to finish, try to hold you there, and then you start working on your defense, start working on escaping from the bad spots.
You're an active competitor and you're a full-time instructor, but it seems like you're still able to maintain or improve your level of jiu-jitsu. Is it by practicing those bad positions like you just mentioned?
Yes, I train a lot, and now I train a lot with my students as well. You know, I was 20 years old when I got my black belt. Before the black belt, I used to help my professor teaching classes. And at the age of 21, I moved out of Brazil. I went to Europe to teach. And I was teaching classes, teaching seminars. And my goal going there was also to compete in a different country out of Brazil. So for me, it was really natural to conciliate the teaching and the training, you know, and I have time to do that. The thing you have, the most important is the time management, you know, so you have to know when to train, when to teach. Sometimes you have to focus on your students, and they have the train that you're going to be focusing more on yourself. And besides that, you do your preparation, physical preparation, and the diet. So it's like a combination of everything, you know. So, and I've been competing on the black belt level, an adult division, for 9 years now. So that experience too. Every year you gain more experience. You kind of learn more how to train. You learn more about yourself, the best ways to train yourself. You learn about your physical condition. What do you have to do? Because everyone is different. So some people like to run. Some people don't like to run. Some people do physical condition. Some guys, high-level guys, just like to train jiu-jitsu, you know? So it takes a while for you to learn how is your body type, how is the best for you, you know?
So Philippe, what are you going to show today?
We're gonna work in a reverse half guard sweep, which is one technique that I like a lot. So I just want to cover a little bit how do we get there on this scenario, and then we're gonna show a sequence from there. So I'm gonna show you guys another attack, which is just a nice sequence. Okay. So let's go begin. The reverse half guard is a little bit different. Is when you have the opponent on this side over here. So instead of the other side. Okay. So there are a few common ways to get here is when you're playing like an outside hook, and sometimes they want to avoid the outside hook guard and they come to the side. Yes. Or you're going to like a knee slide pass, something that you're coming to this side, and I'm hugging you here, and you feel like you're not safe, and they kind of open to the other side. Good. And the one that we're going to do today, I'm just going to show, usually people don't like to work on this position. Okay, we're going to show a way when you get stuck in a deep half guard, so you're feeling that you cannot sweep your opponent, so you're gonna switch to the other side for purpose, and then we're gonna work on the sweep. Okay. So for now, one of the good setups that I like from here. So we're playing like a Z guard, have my shield here, and I wanna bring my partner to the deep half guard. So first, I always have my hands to protect myself. I don't want to have you coming after this shield or grabbing my head. So I'm gonna keep my hand on the collar. And I'm going to start working with my hand under and grabbing your pants right here, okay? So my idea is to get here, right? So it's hard for me just to do this sometimes, because they're going to smash you, and sometimes things goes not the way you're planning. So the way you're going to do, I'm going to pull you on top of me first, so all your weight comes here. Then I'm going to kick you towards like my head. Then I slide my leg, and I lock I'm here like in a safe and a nice deep half guard, okay? So what I'm talking about is sometimes you're here and you feel you cannot do any type of deep half guard sweep. So I'm going to use my hand on the belt, and now I'm going to duck my head under your leg. So the way you're going to do this is like that. I'm turning my side, so now I'm going to kick with this leg just to get the momentum. Then I'm going to push with your belt. So it's going to work like this. All right? So if the opponent doesn't move, it's kind of good for me to go on top. But what happens here is the person on top is going to switch, and they end up there, okay? Notice that I have this lock, all right? So in this lock, it's not good because I am on my side. I have no leverage here to bridge, to go on top of you, and you're eventually going to grab here and kick my leg and get out. Exactly. So what I want to do is, as soon as you adjust, I'm going to switch. So look, watch, I bring you on top of me, and I'll switch my legs. Now try to pull my knee to your side. So now you're no longer fighting my legs, you're fighting my hips. Okay, so I'm kind of getting underneath you like that. So as soon as I get here, I want to get a good grip. Okay, there's a few variations we can do from here. There's a lot of techniques actually. So the one we're gonna do today is, I'm gonna control your arm, so you no longer grab my knee, right? So when I'm ready to go, I'm gonna open my legs, and I'm gonna bridge straight up, all the way, okay? As soon as I bridge, I'm gonna just come to the side and we get to this position right here. So one more time. So let's do the whole sequence. Begin on the deep half guard. Nice. So we get the collar, the pants. So watch, I bring you on top of me, kick, deep half guard, kick, get outside, switch the leg. So things go pretty quick here. That's why it's really important to drill a lot, okay? So now if you grab in my pants, I want to break this grip and control this arm. Now the bridge has to be really sharp. So I'm not doing this. Like I said, the guy will escape. So I have to bridge all the way up first. As soon as I feel like I cannot go anymore, I reach my limit, that's when I'm gonna turn into the opening. So I'm gonna do this, watch. Up high. See how my hip goes really high? Then I turn, and we get to the side control. Then we score. In a Jiu-Jitsu tournament, we score 2 points right here. Full speed. Yes, let's go. So 1, 2, 3. So you got right there.
Very nice.
Thank you, Jake.
Paulo, you and I have something in common, and that is we both travel around the world training with a lot of high-level jiu-jitsu guys. Who has mainly influenced your jiu-jitsu?
Basically, it all started when we went to NERC. Well, when I went to NERC the first time. John Danaher was my biggest influence. He impacted me so much. His level of knowledge, the way he addresses jiu-jitsu, right? Then everybody we met in New York, Leo, Tunico, Jose Chierighini, Set, Luciano, Rafael Costa, the Gracies, Igor, Gregor, Leao, Luciano, Black Rob, people in Chicago, Adam Hensovic, team Renzovic in Chicago, and then all the people that we brought here from the organization. Once we joined the organization, that opened the doors for us tremendously, and people like Philipe, like Romulo, Orlando Sanchez, yourself, AJ, Brandon Mullins, Draculino. All those guys have shown us, and we've taken a little bit of everybody and incorporated it and try to like share it into our academy. Even people from outside the Gracie Baja, like the Rafael Mendez, people from 10th Planet. We brought Renato Laranja one time. That was fun.
You just dropped a lot of names, and a lot of those guys have a lot of publicity and media about them already, but one guy and one of your main influences doesn't have a lot of media, and that is John Danaher. What attracts you so much to his jiu-jitsu?
His knowledge, his approach, basically his whole philosophy on jiu-jitsu. He is a scholar, you know. If there's one thing that attracts me or fascinates me about him is that he sees jiu-jitsu not only as a sport, but as problems that he needs to solve and as a material to study. And he's ever studying the material. Like, it's non-endless. For example, every time we go there and we want to take a class with him, you can see him sitting down on the computer and analyzing video. He's like a mastermind. He just like blows me away every time. We go with him and ask him about a certain position, like we are having problems, and he has 10 different answers, and like not answers for my body type and for me to teach everybody else with different body types. So it's just amazing the amount of knowledge that he has. Obviously his pedigree coming from Renzo is extraordinary, but I feel that he is a true student of the martial art.
Over these past few days that I spent with you, I can tell that you're a true student of the martial arts too. And I'm curious how you feel about your position in your jiu-jitsu journey. Do you ever feel overwhelmed, or do you feel confident in a lot of techniques? How do you feel about that?
I definitely feel overwhelmed because right now I feel I'm midway in my journey to get my black belt. Then from black belt, it's a whole other journey, and they say like the journey is just starting. So right now I'm on my first leg. It's a growing sport, you know, it's a new sport, and even though the self-defense aspect's been in for more time. It's still evolving. Techniques are coming every day, are evolving. Even though the sport is, as they say, goes in cycles, new techniques always come up. First it was, like as of late, 50-50 and berimbolos, right? Then 70-30 guard, lapel guard, and a whole other stuff. And tomorrow's gonna be another thing. If you wanna be competitive like we want to, and we want our students to be competitive, we need to be with the times. So there's always stuff coming on, and that's where you guys help us tremendously, because you guys are in the middle of it. The people that we try to bring are in the middle of it, you know? If you go to the East Coast, hence was like the mecca of Jiu-Jitsu in the East Coast, as California is for the West Coast, you know? And every time we go, we learn new stuff of the current games, of what people are doing. Obviously, we also work on fundamentals. That's never ending, you know, refining your technique. But the new stuff, it's ever evolving. And sometimes I feel like there's a lot of stuff, but I like it. I get enthusiastic and I want to learn more. Every time something comes in, I want to learn it. I want to apply it. I want to defend it, so I can use it and nobody can use it against me.
I want to ask you something about Costa Rica. I've been here for a few days now, and one thing that I hear everybody saying is Pura Vida. And it's, you know, translated pure life, but I think it has a deeper meaning than that. What does Pura Vida mean?
Pura Vida is not only a phrase, it's a way of life here, you know? It's taking it easy, relax, I'm okay, you're okay. Pura Vida is one of those words, is a very strong word, or a couple of words in Costa Rican language. It can mean from hello, to goodbye, to how are you, to I'm fine. It's very wide. It's just a sense of relaxing, I'm chilling. It's amazing, you know.
Pura Vida.
Pura Vida.
Living in SoCal, I'm surrounded by Jiu-Jitsu on a daily basis. It's wonderful to be able to travel the world and see how the art I study is thriving in all corners of the globe. In my opinion, the most important qualities in a teacher are passion for the art and concern for the students. It's crystal clear to me the Wessons have these qualities. Jiu-Jitsu is alive and thriving in Costa Rica. The Favela Jiu-Jitsu Instructional Series by Fernando Terere, now available in 4 formats, on DVD and on demand exclusively at BudoVideos.com, and for mobile devices on Google Play and the App Store.
You guys just see you laughing out of the side of my face.